the exercise group with Alex and Jeff.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. I'm Alex Dingman.
I am Jeff Doss, and we are live. Everybody, what's up? Hope everyone is doing great and recovered from a happy, and blessed and thankful Thanksgiving. Hope everyone had a great one. I know that I did, and I'm sure you did as well, Alex.
Dude, it was great over here. The only
Yeah,
thing
man.
that was crazy out here is it was
What's
just
up?
like, do you know there's people, they exist, where they're like, I want to talk about Christmas until after Thanksgiving. Don't even
Yeah.
mention it. I don't want to talk about it. All right? Whatever. If that's you, you're a nerd. All right? They got what they wished for over here, at least. Because I'm telling
Yeah.
you, literally the next day, you just got dumped with 400 pounds of snow everywhere.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, that's
Oh.
crazy.
Jeff, I'm gonna tell you this, dude. It was crazy. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm out. Maybe it was Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, Saturday, Sunday. I am shoveling nonstop. All right. On Saturday, I shoveled 3 times, and it looked like I didn't even do nothing. Right. I'm like, so I told you guys in that group chat that like I don't have a snowblower. I've never actually used a snowblower ever.
Right.
Being from Minnesota, now in Chicago area, never had a snowblower because I actually didn't know it was a thing until I was like almost a teenager, right? Because like our area, we weren't in like a well-to-do area in Minnesota.
Right.
It was a suburb just north of Minneapolis. Sorry, it's called Brooklyn Park. It was all right at the time when I grew up there. It was like, oh, I was going to do something good, but then the school districts never took off, so that's what happened. Anyway, so we were in like an all right like neighborhood, but then like if you went like a mile that way, it was hood. But anyway, all right. So what people didn't really have snowblowers because it cost money, right?
Right.
So anyway, I might have like completely broken everything, right? But so yesterday, I'm like, I will not throw my back out. I absolutely will not throw my back out. So I've got this massive shovel. So I get it, and I'm approaching it like a deadlift, right?
Mhm.
I will not throw my back out, do a true deadlift. Now my bicep tendons feel like they're going to fall off of my body, right?
Oh, man.
Like, dude, in your mid-40s, like you're not supposed to do this stuff.
Yeah.
So then Lindsay's like, just go to Home Depot right now and just go buy the best snowblower you can get. Just get it. I don't care. And then we got to tell her because we have all this stuff. I'm like, where are we going to put it? Where are we going to put that thing? Right. So half the garage is just all my DJ equipment.
Yeah.
I'm like, it ain't going over there. I'm going to tell you that right now. All right. So, yeah. So then we're like, all right, never mind. We'll just pay someone when it gets that heavy. That's what I'm going to do now. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not doing it. Right.
I get it, man. I mean, it comes a time where it's like, you know what? Yeah. I'm not.
But it's not even so bad. Like if I was thinking back on it, like if I had like the beastiest snowblower, how many times would I have used it last year? Probably 3 times.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
What are we doing?
I guess.
Let's get the neighbor kid, the neighbor kid. I'll give him like $40 and be like, here, just do this area.
So today, guys, we're going to talk a little bit more about Thanksgiving, but just so you know, we're going to focus a lot on what happened at Wako Worlds and give some shout outs to everybody that, showed out, this year at from what I hear, their biggest one. And in a lot of ways, the most professional one I mean, just the viewing, the way it looked, it was outstanding. So excited to talk about that. First off, we were just had Thanksgiving. It was great. My uncle came into town, so he's come the last couple of Thanksgivings. He lives in
Where's he
South
from?
Carolina. South
South
Carolina.
Carolina. Okay.
So he's my mom's older brother, and he's just a fun guy and been through a lot with just with different surgeries with his throat, had throat cancer and different things like that. And so
Dang.
so he just loves coming and just being around. It's chill here. It's where my parents live, where we live. It's pretty chill, and he can go outside, he can play with the animals. There's lots of
Well, what do you mean play with animals?
well, like they have a huge dog, like a Great Pyrenees, you know what I mean?
Okay, so
You
pets.
got you got ducks, you got chickens, you got bunnies. Yeah, man. You got some donkeys and some horses. Yeah.
Whoa. Is this like the Doss family compound? What is happening over there?
Yeah, bro. It's like 20 something acres of just fun. And then, we also have they have a ranger as well, so you can go and ride around all the hills and all the things. I mean, it's a lot of fun.
Hang on. Hang on. So, what town is this?
Rustburg, Virginia. All right.
Rustburg.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with Lynchburg.
Nope, right outside of Lynchburg. So
Okay, so Rustburg, Virginia. They got quite a bit of land, and they utilize it well, apparently.
Oh yeah,
do they have snowmobiles if it ever snows? Does it snow that much over there?
We usually get one big snow. It hasn't been. Last year was a big one. That was a big one for us. But yeah, we haven't had much. Last year was we had a couple times, I guess, of snow. So yeah, last year was like the 1 year again, but we had a couple years off of not much. So yeah, no, not really snowmobiles, but my dad's got plenty of vehicles. So he's been enjoying his retirement. So he's enjoying that, and he's got ducks now, which it's his new favorite thing. Getting ducks.
Wait, what do you mean ducks? Like he has them as pets?
Yeah, and they make eggs, so you got duck eggs and we got chicken eggs, and yeah, man.
Yo, so I didn't know prior to like 2 years ago that like people do that. People have ducks as pets. I didn't know that. Yeah. So I'll never forget. This is because you know that Lindsay and I also own a design and remodeling company. We'll remodel in basically interior people's homes. Like, hey, you need your bathroom remodeled. Say less. We got you. Want a new kitchen? This, either that, da basement. We got you. That's kind of the stuff that we do. Yeah. We remodeled this couple's bathroom. It's very basic in the sense that it's a 5 foot by 8 foot bathroom. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. We got it. But our thing is that, all right, we're gonna bring all the demo and debris into the garage before we pull it out. And we get there, and the husband's like, "No," and I'm like, "Well, what do you mean no?" And he goes, "All my camera equipment's there. I'm a photographer." And I'm like, "That totally makes sense.
Yeah,
don't worry about it. We'll tarp it up. We'll make sure that there's no possible way anything can get there." And he goes, "What about the ducks?" I'm like, "What about ducks? I have no idea what you're talking about." And he goes, we just bought some ducks." And I'm like, "What do you mean you just? Like, how many ducks did you buy?" The guy, like 4 weeks before this, bought 5 ducks. Just, and they live in his garage.
Nice.
And I'm like, "You're a weirdo." This guy was so strange. He was so strange. Like during our client meetings, Jeff, you think I go on tangents sometimes, which I'm doing right now, I acknowledge, all right? This guy in the middle of these meetings would just get up, and it'd be the 3 of us, and he would just get up and go outside and start skateboarding. I'm like, what in the world is happening? So nice. Yeah, we couldn't even use it because this guy had freaking ducks. We couldn't go around the freaking ducks. He would rather us tear apart his whole living room, kitchen, everything just to have the demo there than deal with these ducks. And I'm like, why do you even have these things? All I see is concrete. Go give the ducks to somebody else.
That's crazy.
And I asked him about that. The eggs. That's right. And I'm like,
Yeah.
do they lay eggs? And he's like, no, not these ducks. And I'm like,
What?
I don't know, man. I don't know anything about ducks.
So my parents' egg, they lay eggs and they're bigger, but they say they're not that great to eat. They're better more for like cooking and such. So
You mean
they're
like if
just
you bake a cake or something?
yeah. So
Why? I wonder why they're better for cooking.
I think they're bigger or whatever. I'm not really sure. I forgot what the reason was, but my dad just said it didn't have as much of flavor as like the chicken eggs and stuff.
Wow.
So, but yeah, man. So as far as that, Thanksgiving was great. One thing that was cool and I was thankful for was Friday. I got to
You do
teach.
some Black Friday shopping?
No, maybe I did. Oh yeah, we did go up to Charlottesville and do a little bit, but nothing too crazy. All right. But I taught a lesson Friday, right? And we've talked before, Eddie Thomas, right? Eddie Thomas was John Valera's instructor. So John Valera, of course, was my competition coach.
Yep.
And so it was cool. Eddie Thomas came down and brought his son for me to coach him and me to teach him. So that was a really just a cool thing,
That's pretty cool.
to just to honor, and just a cool way to keep that lineage going and our connection. And yeah, so that was a lot of fun. His son is just, around it all the time, loves it, and just reminds me of like myself when I was that age of just wanting to learn and just wanting to keep going and going and going. I pretty much had said, okay, I'm done teaching you right now. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, hey, I'm tired. It was just more of, all right, we're gonna call it a day, because we could have gone the whole day. He just would have kept going.
Well, how many hours did you guys work together?
No, we just worked like 2 hours. But what I'm saying is like it was mostly me being like, all right, I'm on to something else now. Not like he was just ready to stay. Like I had about a 30, 45-minute conversation with Master Thomas. After that, he's still in the other room practicing and stuff. So yeah.
Oh, so he's really dialed in.
Yeah, he's really dialed in. So it
That's
was really
cool.
So good job, Gabriel, and excited to see his growth and excited to have another student on board with us. So going to be some cool things. And then of course, I go to Toronto this weekend, and excited to do seminars and private lessons and everything there, and do some fun competitions, which I'll share something. Maybe I'll share it today. I know next week we're going to talk heavy of Toronto, because we'll be sharing about that. But one of the cool things I'm excited about, and I haven't done a competition like this since the 2001 Dixieland Nationals, which is the NBL back then. They had a division, well, almost the exact same as what they're doing. They call it the Triple Kata Challenge, right? Which really means it's team kata, but not at the same time. It's like we have a kata team. I go and do my form. My other teammate does their form, and my other teammate does their form. Our total score is our score for the team. Now we are competing against another team, and we're going head to head for a overall type thing. So it's kind of like if you would think of,
it's kind of like team fighting.
Kind of like team fighting. Also maybe like the movie Sidekicks, you know what I mean, where they had the different, the different realms. It's like you had your girl who did the weapons, you had your guy that did the break-in, the self-defense, and the point sparring to create a team. So I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Yep, all names are shuffled up. It's going to be great. So yeah, the last time that I did that, we used to do that in Dixieland. Dewey used to do that, and it was myself, Daryl Lewis, and Valerie Bruce who were on a team. And then they had a junior one and they had an adult one then. And the adult team for CJB we put together was Jason Borelli, Corinne Belanger, and John Sue. Like that's a cool team, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, man. So yeah, I know, John, it's going to be an exciting event. One more thing I'm thankful for, and you know what, like, I've shared this several times on the show, but I've shared more on more of my social media platform and such, right? And just the week before Thanksgiving, that was 4 years for me of being, being alcohol free, being sober. And I tell you what, man, I'm just blessed that God has and Jesus has given me, these years that way and just given me that moment in my life that said, hey, this is that time, to what, get your life in gear, go to the next level, and I have more for you to do, and I have people that you need to lead, and you need to be that example, and you need to be that inspiration. And there's some people that you can help with your story. So I'm thankful and blessed that, God has given me that path and that over these past years. It's kind of crazy. It seems in a lot of ways like it seems like a whole nother world for me,
Yeah.
and it's like, man, 4 years seems a lot longer than that, but it also seems like it went by really fast as well too. So
It it feels like it went fast. Like I feel like, dude, it was just like 6 months ago.
right.
That's so cool. Can I tell you something else?
Yeah.
You look better, man.
Oh,
You look
Crazy.
better.
I
That's
know.
why you keep leveling up, man, because I'm telling you, like you're de-aging.
I tell you,
But it's
and
scary. It's scary, right? Right before you go through something like that, and you're like, when God shakes you up, like it feels like the floor is about to fall out from underneath you.
yeah,
And that's where it's like you got to trust Him, because the floor is going to fall out from underneath you. You're going to levitate yourself, right?
correct. Nope, you're not. Exactly. And you know what, man, it's crazy so many times too. I think I shared before of like I was going through so many things of like health changes and changing my diet, changing my nutrition, changing different things, but then holding on to one thing that was not serving me at all, and just be, well, this is my one thing. I'll have this. And you know what? Like letting go of that and letting God take over has been the best thing. And you know what? Like before that, I mean, I hit that rock bottom. I was like, hey, I want to get back to just, I'm going to compete, not competing to promote or be a promoter or any of that stuff, right? I'm going back full in because, and then that happened. And you know what? Then it was like, well, this is even better of a time to do it. Because you know what? In a lot of ways, I feel like I I might have wasted some years because
I
I
was just
wasn't
going to ask you if you felt that way.
being smart with stuff. I mean, listen, I don't like to share this as a way of like not bragging, but it is, like there are years and people that know what I'm about to say, but if I was competing on stage, I would have 2 to 3 beers to relax, to calm my nerves. And that happened for many years. And a lot of people don't know that. Or a lot of people do, and so that for me is like crazy, right? And but to think, because a lot of people think, oh, wait, no, you never seemed like you had a problem or this or that. Yeah, but that's still, you can be functioning, functioning, But imagine if I was healthier. And so for me, it's just I'm gonna go for the best I can, right? And you know what, and just what God calls me to do. And so I think for me, man, it's just continuing to grow as a person, to grow my walk, with Christ, and also just what I can do as this, just as that person that does what they say they're going to do. You know what I mean? I think sometimes, we're teaching, we're leading in so many different ways. I'm on that stage almost every tournament. And you know what? Like I gotta be proud of who I am as well. Not just proud, but like I have to have that integrity of that. And so I know for me, I'm so happy and proud that I can I am living up to those things,
lot of times I ask you a question, I feel like I know the answer. I ask you a question, I do not know the answer. Do you did throughout this process, did you lose any friends?
Mm. Yeah, good question. Yeah.
Yeah, you
So,
did.
yes, I did lose some friends, and what's weird is it wasn't the way that I thought. It was actually a friend of mine that, like, was the person who, when I was in college, they were the one that didn't drink at all, and I was the one that drank, and then we were like best friends. And then it kind of flipped later on, right? And and so I don't know if it was necessarily me not drinking that. It was just more of everything changed of, hey, I don't need to be in that atmosphere anymore. There's no reason for me to do that. I'm on to a new level. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So but at the same time, I wasn't really putting myself out there, like, you know what I mean? I'm older, I have a family. So it's more of just priorities, right? It's like what is it that's going to does any of that serve me, you know? So, yes, sir. So yeah, man. So I know I mean, sometimes people see that as a downer, but to me, I think it's for me, you can see just how I've grown. So I'm excited. And that's where it's just, everyone asks, we asked last week, like, when are you going to be done? What's, what's
No
going,
one's
and
gonna
it's
always
just,
that.
yeah.
But
And
here's
I don't know, man. I want to do it. And until I just want to always enjoy it. And that's it.
I'm not
So,
comparing the two, but people say that about LeBron James right now. And they're like, dude, when are you gonna be done? Because
yeah,
there's a little fatigue, right?
right.
And they're not embracing and appreciating the fact that someone is doing that at
Right.
that age and for so long and at that level consistently that the people are going to keep asking you that until until maybe you might never be done. That's the thing is people don't get it. Like
Right.
there are competitors in their 60s and 70s and beyond. Why is it said that someone has to be done, right? But if you were to ever be done at that point, you know what they're going to do is, man, when are you going to come back? Is
Yeah.
100% what's going to happen.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Example right here. All right. Anthony Price, AP chimed in. What's happening, AP? All right.
What's up, AP?
Tell me if I'm right about this, Mr. Price. Do people ask you if you're ever going to come back and fight again? All right. I bet all the money in my pocket that he would say all the time. All right. That people, because that's what people do. People don't ask me if I'm coming back.
A few years ago they did, but we
Well,
won't.
that's a good point. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
But see, there he goes. Yes, exactly.
yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. And it happens. But see, that's what's going to happen is right now they're asking you like, man, when are you going to be done? When are you going to be done? And then if that would ever happen, they're going to go, hey, when are you going to come back? Like, how about you just appreciate what's happening? Appreciate this in the here and the now.
Right.
What are you going to do?
Yeah, Drew, same thing. People ask you all the time as well, man.
TDB, you should come back.
And then yeah, and Anthony competed at the WMAC in England this last year.
That's dope.
Yeah.
I got to see videos of that. That'd be really cool.
We're gonna talk about some videos that we've seen and
oh yeah.
later on. But all right, let's get into Wako, guys. That Wako experience. What are everyone that has watched? Most of our guys are just getting back now, so I think trying to ask anyone to be on the show tonight was
going to be too much. But
so.
let's
But I
piggyback.
know next week.
This is a great segue. Is it all right if I take this part?
Yeah,
because
go.
talking about what we're thankful for. Thankful for Tyreek.
Yeah, man.
Thankful for Tyreek Saint and the Team USA crew, because really, Tyreek, thank you. Because without those live streams and those videos, that's what really got me to be like, oh, I can see this. Oh, I can see that. And dude, I was talking with Rob Zabilski today.
Yeah.
He is so proud of all the tatami guys, all the point fighters, right? He singled out Rashad Eugene, and he's like, that guy is something special. He was so proud of all the guys. And then he said this, and I 1,000% agree with him. He said, Katana got robbed. All right. Katana did get robbed. You got robbed, Katana. You should have taken gold. She kicked that girl in the head multiple times. Wasn't even a stop call. All right. That's what was annoying about it, but whatever. So, yeah, but thanks, Tyreek. That was perfect because, yeah, we all got up early when we saw it. We got notifications. Tyreek's going live, and so we all went. All right. How many followers he got? Like 5 million, something like that. Who knows?
Now he does, man. Now he does. It's crazy.
Worth it. All right.
He was killing it.
So, I am what that. If you're looking at like the performance of the Team USA team and how everybody performed, like it was high level competition.
Yeah.
But there certainly was a difference between the Americans and everyone else. And it does not to say that like everybody else wasn't really great. We were considerably more athletic. More athletic.
So I think we are, but you also got to look at Italy as well. I think the Italians are as well, because you look at the females on, dude, like 3 of the females that were from Italy won gold with 10-point spread.
But there's a difference though. There's skill level and there's athleticism.
Okay.
So I think the Italian fighters are fantastic. Right. I do agree with that. All right. And their skill is something special. Like all those ladies, they're not more athletic than Katana. All right.
No. You're right on that. No.
And that's what I'm talking about. Right. And I feel like, hey, this just shows you like being the more athletic fighter, that really does something. Right. Yeah. That means something. And so, and Rob said it because he's like, and he says this all the time. He's like, I don't know how to do the tatami stuff. I don't know how to do the point fighting. And he does. He just doesn't want to have to learn. He just doesn't want to have to enter into that frame of mind. And he goes, nobody could touch, Bailey. Nobody could touch him. He's just so far above and beyond, right? Everybody else, right? And sure, there's a difference between him and the rest of the guys that he fights. That's for sure. But
yeah. I mean, he's put himself there. There are some people that have given him some hard times that are there. Just this year, they're not in his weight class. But you know what, man? Like, for us to beat Italy, who is a great team, who had to beat them by 7-8 points, like, wow. Like Tyreek did some work, and D-Hop did his job, and Bailey put in work. I mean, they just, and it was really cool to see Tyreek be at that level, achieve that goal, and then also do it the next day after he won his gold as well. Because sometimes I'll tell you what, man, you achieve something like that, all that like everything built up, that journey to get there. And then you're like, yeah.
Adrenaline dump.
Then the next day you have teams and you're like, you got to keep that mindset, going ahead. It's not done yet, So, but if anyone that could do it, it's him and Bailey, So you definitely just got to give a shout out to those two guys for just the way they put USA on their back. Congrats to D-Hop. Congrats to Tyson. All 4 of those guys. That's two worlds in a row of those 4 winning that title. That's huge. That doesn't happen often. So it's insane with the same 4 people too.
And then the vets, Al Java looked fantastic.
Yes, 4 worlds in a row, man. I mean, he did amazing. So
and my guy Dwan Brown was out there. I don't know how Dwan Brown has this uncanny ability to just like always be in like the more important like moments and areas of martial arts and somehow still able to sneak under the radar. Like, I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
get it how he can do that. I mean, he's great. And he's out there medaling in everything too. Like,
Yeah,
love it.
he got silver in light contact and is continuous, and then
Yep.
he got bronze in his point. So, I mean, huge, man, to see him there. And you know what? Being the guy to lead that team too, to get them all pumped up with the cheer and the chant. You know, that was all him, right? So that was pretty cool, man. Okay. Sorry. Sometimes I get lost when I read Jonathan's comments. My bad, John. We love you, man, but you lose us a lot of times. All right.
So,
So those
um,
guys definitely want to, give a lot of respect to those guys. You know, the team overall was really a great team that was put together. I tell you some things that I notice is, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Dewan was the only American to win a light contact or a kick light match. So I know that that's something that we got to look at, right? And on how building our team on that side, the kick light and the light contact. The guys from the Middle East and the Eastern Europe, they are really good at that
I don't
style.
wait a minute. I don't know if that's true.
What?
I think from the point guys, I think that might be true, but I think there was some kickboxers that did that as well. I think,
What
but
do you mean
I'm
kick?
not certain.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Some of the like kickboxers that also did kick light.
No, you're not allowed to do that in Wako. You if you're in the ring, you stick to ring sports. If you're
You
out,
can't do both. Is that?
no, you can't do both. So what I'm saying is that there are some guys that have done. I don't know what it is with some of the certain countries, but they know how to blend that point and the kickboxing style a little bit better right now. Or they're training that way. There's also, let's be honest, here there's not too many tournaments that do that. You know what? Like they're getting that experience all the time. There
Yeah.
isn't that many tournaments that have high level, let's just say continuous fighting, kick light fighting. Yeah, I agree there, Beta. I mean, I love it. It's exciting to watch. You know what? There's some people, so there's some leagues down here that I feel like are good and they have that. Again, I've talked about the IKF before. That's the International Kickboxing Federation that has the point continuous or the point kickboxing, the point Muay Thai, even point boxing, to where it's that same style just in a ring. I mean, on a mat, on a tatami. They do that. I know Wako USA is trying to grow. You have WKU but again, that's a one time a year thing. There's some tournaments that lead you to WKC. That's just the continuous. So it's just and none of the rules are the same. I think that's the hardest part that we have as in our style of getting those rounds and just competition rounds. Probably the closest thing to do with that would be if you went and did ITF fighting. That would be the closest thing. And again, that's a closed off circuit as well. So
there are some, you started mentioning, like, there are some countries that, like, they just do it a little bit better, there's definitely areas where it's like, hey, we can improve in this. I think, there are some countries that
those
do
are
that a little bit better. Most of them, I think, are like Eastern European countries. I think Hungary's pretty good at that. Really low key.
The Slovenian girl, that's also the ITF world champion and the Wako world champion.
Russia. Russia is great, but I don't know. Is Russia even allowed in Wako?
Depends on the year. Yeah, I don't know.
But they're really good.
USA Sport Karate is really trying to push that and have those events, which is great, which is helping it grow.
Yep.
So I want to shout out those guys. I also want to shout out Rashad and my teammate Drew Doss that won the team forms. Forgot which team forms world championship, and then Rashad won both of the weapons world championships, and then silvers in the other. So amazing for him. His third Wacos in a row of winning championships. Getting almost a near perfect score. Like he got like a 9, 3 10s, and an 8. So that's pretty sick for him. So congrats to him, and congrats to Drew for going out there, man, and trying something different, and putting that form together with him and Rashad, and exciting to see that. So I would love us to have the female side of our forms and weapons show up as well out there. I think we definitely need that. I know that originally Haley had signed up for the nationals to do it, but then something just didn't work out. Yeah, they have the new Sport Combat, USA Sport Combat. That's pretty exciting there, Drew. So yeah, I would love to see some more of our females go out there and do that and dominate. All right, what do you got to talk about? Who's someone else that stood out? Maybe they didn't. Of course we got Bailey. Of course you got Tyreek. Of course Java. Those are our guys there. Congrats to all the ones in the ring sports as well. I have a couple people in my mind that I'm thinking, but who do you got?
There's one person who stood out to me. Like I think about those, and I think about this one big bellied ref that followed Team USA everywhere. That guy sucked. That guy sucked so bad. Right?
That's what I was going to say, Drew. Hector Solari, man.
Hector Solari is great, right?
And again, he's one of those guys that won by 10 point spread to win the gold. Him, Bailey, I believe, Martin Bellant, same thing. All those guys won their gold by 10 point spread. Just imagine that.
Now, listen, I said earlier that the athleticism of Team USA is so much greater than everybody else. And it is, but I don't want it to sound like that's just what it was. They're just athletic and they just kind of figured it out on the fly. That is not it. It is very clear that they were, and it sounds bad to say, but they're just smarter. They were just smarter than their fighters, all right? They had plans that their fighters just did not have answers for, all right? And they had the athleticism to do stuff that they just could not respond to, right? So I thought that was fantastic. So I just wanted to clarify that. Like if I'm saying like, listen, the athleticism of Team USA, that's not just the reason that they won. We've seen some athletic freaks before not make it out of the second round.
Yeah. I mean, so when I'm looking at like the divisions, which divisions like were just like, again, I look at that division. Let's see, was it minus 74, which Martin Bellant won again by a 10 point spread in the gold. Before that, he had to beat Jack Buckley, right? Who he beat pretty convincingly as well. I think it was like 6 points. Okay. And Jack beat Tyson. Tyson, to even get in there, had to beat Jason from
Jack, right?
Huh? No. Tyson, his first fight was against Jason from Canada.
Yeah.
And so that was a really close fight. So it's like that whole side of the bracket was insane. That was the one that was crazy to me. I think Devin's division was pretty crazy with Demetrios winning it. We talked about Richie Veras. We talked about Dwayne Morin, all those guys there, right?
And I was wrong. That's a great bracket, but I was wrong. I thought, listen, if Devin Hopper, if Demetrios beats Richie, Devin Hopper can beat Demetrios, and Demetrios proved me wrong. All right. Devin Hopper will be better. He'll come back and he's going to beat him next time. All right. I got confidence in that. I think as far as a division, I was really more intrigued about Tyson's division. Like there was a few of those matchups where I'm like, I really want to see this. Tyson's first matchup against, it was Jason. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a really, really good match. Right. Yes, Jesse, you're right. Tyson's division.
said from the
It
beginning.
probably was from top to bottom. Like there
Top to
was
bottom.
no. It's the World Championship, so there are no scrubs. There are no
Right.
cheeseburgers. Does not exist. But there are some guys where you can look at it and you're like, oh, I know who's going to win this. I pretty
Right.
much got a pretty good guess as to who's going to win that side of the bracket or who's going to win this round. In Tyson's division, you did not know that, right?
Right.
Can I say something else about that? I think Tyson, for the majority of his adult career, has always fought in that kind of division, right?
Oh yeah.
Whatever division he's fighting in, it's the deepest division, right?
Mhm.
Like even in NASCA, right? Like when he's there, like Tyreek's in that division, Enrique's in that division, maybe, right? And it's just
Yeah.
like this division doesn't stop, right? Everybody's in this, you know?
Yeah, I agree, man. I think you know what, and you know what, he's still young. He's still just getting started. So I'm excited to see where he goes from here, man.
Well, wait a minute. Remember a few years ago when we were saying that about Bailey and then he got pissed? Remember that?
Oh, I know. Well, I'm not saying.
Oh man, he's still young. He's the future. And he was like, "Don't call me the future.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
right now."
Yeah, I'm not saying he's the future. I'm just saying there's still a lot more left of what for all these guys to give. You know what I mean?
100%.
It's the same thing. Like So I want to give a shout out to like the Bulgarian females. Like wow, like is this the second?
about it.
I feel like so they won the women's team. Okay, they won the women's team fighting, and I feel like. I don't know if they won the last time either, but I remember watching them and being like, yo, these girls are freaking good. And I didn't get to watch it this time, but I just know that 2 years ago at the Worlds, and maybe even two before that, I was like, these girls from Bulgaria are like fun to watch. They're fast, they're smart, they're aggressive, they just don't stop. And they were beating people that you were kind of like, oh no, like they can't beat the Italians. Oh no, they can't beat the Great Britain team, and they were beating all of them. And so this year they won it. And tell you what, man, that's exciting to see. Like just from different countries that you don't expect. So you know what I mean? Like when we're looking at the teams, we're usually thinking Italy, USA. You know what I mean? Like on
England.
both female, the Great Britain. You know, those ones, Hungary, obviously, you know, like, so for them to do that, man, it's pretty exciting to see, you know, see them grow. You know, one thing I was watching, like a short little interview from Roy, and he said this year was one of the best because it's not just like, it was like everyone was good from every country. Like the other countries are leveling up now, you know, on certain areas and certain styles. It wasn't like, okay, this style is still more for this country, or this country is dominating this one or that one. They were all in there. And I mean, that's what you want. And, you know, and we've talked before when we talked about the Olympics, certain sports won't get in unless there's some parity, right? If it's just going to be one dominated by one country, they're not really excited to see that. They don't want that. That doesn't help draw more world views. So that's a huge plus for Wako. You know, I mean,
Yeah,
heck, dude,
Taekwondo was that way.
yeah, you have a Japanese K1 like female champion that was there for Wako. And I don't know if she won, but like, kind of wild, man.
I think that's crazy that can even be a thing. Like Wako is the world amateur kickboxing organization.
Yeah.
Someone who fought professionally in K1 is like, my turn. Like, how is this happening? Right?
Well, you know what? My son asked me the other day, he was asking about why Lomachenko, you know, when we were talking about the boxer, why he stopped after only like 21 fights when he could have done more and more and more, or why he only did that many professional. And again, I let my son say all these things. Why are you going to waste all that time on 300 amateur fights and do all this and do all this and that? And then I just said, stop. You're speaking like an American. You're not understanding. He was in that country. yes, he had a salary just to fight as an amateur during that time to represent his country. So, and also the honor in those countries to represent your country is, let's just say it, it's more of a bigger deal there than it is here. I mean, I hate to say it about my own country, but our patriotism can be high at times, but not always. To be like, I'm going to do all this to represent my country. You know, those guys, like, they are like, hey, you know, some of those countries fund them to do that. You know, Chris talks about one year at I think it was WKA IAXA World Championships, and he
Oh
lost
yeah.
to the guy from Turkey, and the guy was like, "Man, you should have won, but I'm glad I win because I'm getting a house now." You know, like it's wild, but that's the level that it is. Like that is just as important as the pro side. You know, so yeah, you're not really making money, but you're getting paid a good salary to live and to fight. You know, so yeah.
Yeah, and here's what you got to think about: the fighting sports, the boxing, kickboxing. All right, it is bigger as a culture in some of those like Eastern European countries or even Central European countries. And like this is the culture. That's just what they do. They come out, they come big. And this is where I want to say, all right, pump the brakes here, Euros. All right. Let's knock you down a little bit of a peg. Right. You are your country's best athletes doing this, and you're fantastic. You guys don't have football players. All right. Let's take a defensive end. All right. Teach him how to do some kickboxing and have him go out there. He will break you in half. Right. Are you kidding me? Right. You took Myles Garrett and taught him how to do a back like roundhouse kick. He wouldn't matter. He would break you in half. Right. Thanks. Pump the brakes if you're over here talking about how bad you are. Put some gloves on that guy. Have him go out there. You would cry if you had lined up across from him.
Oh man, that's crazy.
Am I right though? Am I right?
No, I mean, I see what you're saying. There's some guys that I would love to see get in the ring and do that. You know, I think we're gonna get to that point soon. The more that this gets bigger, you know, I mean, again, I love kickboxing. I love K1 kickboxing. I love that style, the low kick. I love all that. I wish it was bigger in the States. You know, he says you're
Beta,
not.
I am right. I am right. You know what's crazy though? Here's what is nuts. This was okay, almost 20 years ago. So I'm teaching in a karate school, and this is a legit bodybuilder comes in to take classes from me, and I'm not kidding you. He has muscles on the outsides of his earlobes. I mean, I've never seen anything like this. Right?
Yeah.
I'm like, this is crazy. This is like Muscle and Fitness magazine just came to life.
That's called cauliflower ear, buddy.
No, dude. I'm not. Okay. But I'm for real. Like I've never seen anything like this in like real life, like in person.
Right.
He couldn't punch at all.
Mm.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible. Because he's so used to flexing, and like when you flex, you put your thumb inside your fingers here because it makes your forearms pop. All right.
Right.
So every time I would be like, all right, let's just work on like the basic jab cross, right? He'd put his thumb inside, and I'm like, dude, I can't remember his name, right? I'm like, you get. Let's say his name was Mike. I'm like, Mike, you got to stop doing that. Like you're actually gonna bust your thumb, right? And then I realized, like, dude, you actually can't hit hard. Like this is the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life, right? Like you can't hit hard at all, right? It was nuts. But no, you take a real athlete, like an athlete like that. Like I'm telling you, dude, they would kill.
Obeya's disagreeing with you. He's saying a lot of them can't punch or kick to save the life of them. So
That's what I just said. Like meatheads. Right. Yes, right. I agree with you, Beta. All right.
Yeah,
they can't. But if you take,
there's some you look at someone that has some martial arts experience while they're also doing, you know, like again, say in another life, if Charlie Davison wanted to focus in on doing that style, right? That dude's
Or his brother.
yeah, or his brother, right? Who's the guy that was on Straight Up? The guy that why am I forgetting his name?
Was it Jose Laredo?
No. He literally was. He played in the NFL and he just came back 2 years ago to sport karate after he retired.
Oh, gosh, kid.
Something with the J. I'm thinking.
I know. Yeah. I'm blanking.
Yeah, Jarvis. There we go, Jarvis.
Jarvis.
Yes. So that guy is someone who I would love to see in the kickboxing scene, right? That would be great.
Jarvis was good.
Yeah. Yeah. Jarvis
but we've had guys like that too that have been like good martial artists that have gone on to be good pro athletes in this sport and in that. But I bring up like football players because football players are crazy, right? They're like when you're playing at that level, when you're D1, right? You're crazy, man. Like you're getting a concussion every 45 seconds.
Yeah, I mean I hate to say it because that might have been one of the things that led to his passing. But yeah, Donald Vickers was like that. I mean, he was a D1, football player also, but wanting to do professional kickboxing at the same time, and like doing both, and being like, well, I'm going to stop this to do that. And I mean, the dude was just a freak from when he was like 12 years old. I mean, when we were in continuous fighting back in the day, it was just 1700, just weight divisions. It wasn't kind of age. So like, I think when I was 17, he was like 11 in the same weight class as me. You know what I mean? Like, what the heck, and fighting at 12, fighting 17, 18-year-olds really, and whooping them and destroying them. So
he's got one of the better post-fight interviews that I remember. It might have been in like WCL days. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, it was
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it was the funniest thing ever. He won his fight, but he didn't feel good about his performance. And he's like, man, I didn't feel good. But it's like, you know what? When you're out there fighting a girl, sometimes you fight like a girl. I'm like,
that's damn. Yeah, you're right. He was about to. You're right about. He was recruited by everybody there, David. That's why But yeah, you're right. Yep, he was one I was worried about coming up as he got heavier, and I'm like 7 years old. Yeah, exactly, same. All right, so congrats everyone at Wako. A couple more shout outs. Tobias Lopez, great job, man, from Argentina, from Revolution. Also, Nathan Fate, also on Revolution from Ireland. Both those guys are in the same division. Tobias got second. I think he lost to a guy from Hungary. So lots of cool things there. That some of the high level people from Wako, like they won.
Showdown.
Martin Blount wins. Demetrios wins. Ricardo Albanese wins. Bailey Murphy wins. Tyreek Saint wins. Like those guys, they did what they were supposed to do. And you know what? That was impressive to see. Francesca CC did what she was supposed to do. There were some high level people, again, like the girls from Italy showed out, winning, beating like in the minus 70. Yeah, I think minus 70 weight class. Like I was expecting Tina Below to win, but she lost to one of the Italians. So congrats to everyone out there. Congrats to Wako on just an awesome, incredible, the view of it. Everything looked high class. I'm excited about seeing that venue for WKU next year. That's going to be the same place that they're doing theirs next year. So pretty cool to see. And yeah, man, I'm sure we'll find out some more next week. I'm going to try to get Rashad on because he's going to be at Toronto with me, and try to bring him on next week as well to talk about Toronto, but also the Wako experience as well. And some other guys. I believe Jesse and Tyson are going to be at Toronto as well. So gonna be cool to hear some of those stories about everything.
So you mentioned that's going to be there for WKU
Yeah.
next year.
Yeah.
So this is what Rob was telling me, and he goes, "Dude, you got to be careful out there." It's like it's even worse in Dubai, but like you can't even jaywalk.
Yeah.
You can't do nothing. They goes, there's cameras everywhere. I mean, there's hundreds of cameras all over. You don't see them, but they see you, right?
Yep.
He goes, you do something just something as simple as jaywalking, and you go to leave the airport, they got your face, they know, and we're like, all right, pay your fine, otherwise you're not leaving. Isn't that messed up?
Yeah. Hey, dang. So did you get a fine? What? How much was Rob's fine? How much was Rob's fine? Hold on, is he telling him himself? Yeah, I don't know, man. There's a lot of things now I wasn't worried about before, but now just looking at things and just
Shout?
thinking. Yeah, you
Wait,
can't
you
shout.
can't shout at someone?
No, you're not allowed to
You
shout.
can't like raise your voice? Ooh, I would have a rough time.
You definitely would. All right, let's get into some funny things, and then we're gonna finish up with our shout outs to our fighters from the past and the forms from the past.
Yep.
When we were doing these guys, these shout outs, what we really are saying is this is the person you need to research this week. Research this person. Go on YouTube and check. Go on Martial Arts Internet Network and check, this person out, right? So let's see what we got. All right. This is just something that just kind of came off the top of my head because I just think about some of the weird things that comments you get, right? Now, these days, it's comments we get online on social media, like even one of my parents came up today to me who watched a video of mine and follows me on Facebook, and she said, man, that guy just, wouldn't let go that you have a gray belt and that, he wanted to say that, you go outside and you drag your belt on the ground and all this stuff just to make it look like that and all that, like those things are weird and they're hilarious, but it's funny to me that, and even this parent who like his grandson just started, like he's a fresh white belt and he just goes, man, haters gonna hate. And I was just like, yes, sir, they are. So, we're going to talk about the weirdest compliments and then the weirdest critiques we've ever received at a tournament from, anywhere. Okay. Which one do you want to start with? Compliments or critiques?
Let's start with compliments.
Yeah.
Because there's a compliment I've gotten that was very good that I've never forgotten. And then there's it's like a weird, like uncomfortable compliment as well.
Exactly. Now, all right. Can I go ahead and start on this one because I've shared.
Yours.
I think when we did Patreon shows, we did a whole episode on this because it got really weird, right? So I'm just telling you, all right, if this is going to be weird. All right. when you're a kicker, okay, or you're a martial artist, right?
I already know where it's going.
And you know what? You put some things out there, some pictures out there just because, hey, this is what I do, right? And then some of the comments you get. And they're usually not, no, actually, that's not true. There's some people that have put some comments in there straight up. But sometimes you get these weird DMs, right? And you're sitting there like, hey, will you kick me in the face? Hey, hey, do you have any photos of you that I can pay for of your kicks? I'm like, huh? What?
That's so freaking weird, right?
Weird stuff. Like, what was it? I'm almost 1 out of every 10 posts. There's this one guy that puts on there fat, beefy feet that are great, and you have definitely worked hard for those. I'm just sitting there like, what is this? And so I'll just delete that, right? So any of my videos, reels that I put out there, talking about Century and stuff, I gotta check them because they have some weird things like that on there. So you just never know, man. You just never know that. So those are some weird compliments, right?
I had
Real?
one
He said it's not weird.
almost 15 years ago.
You're into that. You're one of those weird guys, Will.
That's weird. I had one almost 15 years ago that was it was like that, but it was actually weirder. This person was like, "Can you take like videos of yourself kicking and send it to me?" And I'm like, "Do you want like a tutorial or something, or what do you like?" No, it's so stupid. I want you to put on white sweat
Yes,
socks,
I knew it. I knew you were gonna say this.
white sweat socks,
Oh
and
my
I
God.
want you
What
to.
did you
Can
say?
you video yourself kicking with white sweat socks and send it to me?
Yep.
I'm
White
like,
socks. They can't have any like logos on them. They can't be like white and gray. Yeah. There's a whole group of people like that, bro.
this is the weirdest thing. And I'm like, not only am I not going to do that, this is our last interaction ever. You are blocked. I'm going to go to sleep uncomfortable as hell.
And how did I know exactly what you were gonna say?
I don't know how you knew that. Well, now I know because you probably got the same thing.
I've gotten, yeah. Oh my God. It's crazy, right? So yeah, there's a whole group of that, right? All right. So those are obviously weird compliments.
But there's one I've gotten, Jeff, that's almost weirder. It is weirder in person, because when it's online or like a message or an email or something like that, you can go, ugh. You can react how you would react,
Right.
and then shut your laptop and walk away and go, that was weird, right? When it's in person,
Yeah.
what? It was, oh gosh, it was a long time ago, but if it was me, it was definitely a long time ago. But anyway, you have those people who come up to you and they like try to tell you why you're good. And they're like, here's why you're good. It's because you do it like it's only because you. And you're like, oh, really? Thank you for minimizing everything about all the years of training and dedication I put into it. Thank you so much I just met you 3 seconds ago. Shut what they call the heck up. Anyway, so this person comes up and they don't do something like that, but it was kind of, they go up and they go, you know why you're so good? I'm going to tell you, great job, but it's your hips. Man, you got really good hips. Look at your hips. All right. Oh man, look at, see, it's because you can like twist it. Let me see you twist your hips out a little bit, man. You got good hips. Let me see those. No. You're not going to see my hip. Get the frick away from me. But I can't. But you can't say that and start yelling. Probably should have, maybe. Right? You can't say that in the middle of a freaking karate tournament, right? Because you got all the people that you know and students and teammates, things like that, right? What you want to say is, someone get this creepo pedo out of here, all right? I don't want him going around to kids and doing the same thing. I probably should have done that, right? But I was so weirded out and creeped out, I didn't know what to think.
Right. Yeah.
That was a weird one,
mean,
right?
there's some weird ones. That is definitely a weird one. I mean, yeah, like the backhand compliments that you get, like,
I freaking hate them.
Oh yeah, or like, you know what? Of course, when I so when I'm competing, and of course, I did the intergalactic thing for a while, right? And when people's backhand comment, oh, that's the best part of your form, like, well, dang. So I guess I'm not very good at kicking or no good martial art. Like, I get that that's fun, but that part is supposed to elevate the other things, right? Which I feel like, and most people see it that way, right? To get you in a feeling, oh, all right, that's cool. But I've had that happen before, right? Or, oh man, that's why you win, because you do that silly stuff. And I was like, no, that's not it. But okay, you can think that, or
says that it's
or
always
the you don't do anything hard because I'm a kicker and none of you guys can do it. So I want to see how many people can actually do what I do. So there's always, but
and it's always the person who says these things like that, like, oh, it's because they're watching this national tournament for the first time in like 12 years. And then all of a sudden they're telling anybody in earshot, right, how and why they're the expert and they know everything. You know what I mean? Like, get the frig out of here, right?
Yeah. I'm sure there's so many, and I'm going to get back to it in a little bit. I'm sure there's one that'll pop up, but yeah, that's always a fun one. I'm sure we can bring up some more later on. You guys, if you've gotten some weird compliments,
Oh, I'd love to hear them.
Yeah, we want to hear them as well. All right. We're gonna go to critiques now. Weirdest critiques. All right. Here we go. Wait a minute, Brett. I got one. When people find out you age and then say, "Man, you're really good for." Yeah. I still don't know if that's a compliment or a criticism. Yeah, I agree.
Awkwardness is what it is.
All right. Weirdest critiques ever. So one wasn't really like a critique. It was more of, well, it's a lot easier for that guy to do what you're doing, or no, it's a lot easier for you to do it because you're so short. So for that guy to do it, it's harder. So I'm going to give him the win. That's why I gave him the win today. It was like, wait, what? So my height kind of screwed me over. All right. Thanks, man. Like, I've had that before. I've had the whole, well, we've shared this before about after diamonds of the guy saying, the judge, "Man, my wife is mad at me because I didn't give you the 9. I really should have given you the 9. Maybe next time, man." Or hey,
maybe next time.
What can I do to get better? And my instructor has gotten this many times. He's like, "What can I do with my form? What do you need? What do I need to do?" And he goes, "Man, I'm going to give it to you next time, man. I just gave it to him this time. All right, don't worry. I'm going to give it to you next time." Like, what?
This is not an NBA referee like redo call, right? This is the tournament.
Yeah, or some say, "Oh, this has been a critique I've gotten from Taekwondo compared to Japanese or karate forms, is that they don't see the fight in the form, compared to those. So they kind of want me to change the timing or whatnot. So I think sometimes that can be a detriment to you too. When you're thinking so much of trying to win that main goal that you have, right? And again, when we go back to me continuing, like, there just has to be a point of when do you give up on a goal or when do you stop going after a goal? And that may be a topic that we'll talk about sometime soon as well, too. But
because as crazy as it sounds, the answer could be that you do. There are reasons, right? It's not always a microscope.
Right.
I've got an answer for this for both form and fighting. They're two different ones. I still, to this day, it happened in 1998. I was just like jaw dropped when it happened in my form. That I'm like, you really said that? Like, this is actually happening? Rest his soul. My original karate instructor. I'm competing for a local grand championship. He's the center. I couldn't be more proud to be out there and show him that, like, listen, I'm really freaking good now. Right. And in my mind, like, I wanted to be so good, like, for him, I wanted him to feel like, hey, I didn't fail you. Like, I'm out here doing good. And it's because of you. Like, I want you to feel like that's my guy. Right.
Right.
And I won, but he gave me the lowest score. Right. I think I got like, it was 3 judges. I got a 9, and then like a 6 or 7. And I'm like, this is freaking weird. What is going on here? All right.
Yeah.
And I still won. Right. It's crazy enough. Right. But it wasn't in the like place days. Like, it could be 3 guys up there and they could be getting 4s and 3s. But anyway, at the end of it, he goes, "Hey, you know why I gave you that low score?" And I want to be like, "Don't worry about it. It's okay. Thank you. I guess I have more to work on." But that's what I said. What I wanted to go was, "What the frick were you thinking?" Right? And he goes, when you were back, when you had turned, all right, you had your hands in fists, and I feel like you hadn't yet started your form, so you should have had your hands in knife hands. So you should have, instead of having your hands in tight, straight fists, right, with your feet together. They should have been in knife hands. So because they were fist, not knife hands, I feel like I had to lower your score a little bit. Not the actual form,
That's
not
crazy.
the actual performance, and acknowledged that they were good straight fists, straight wrists, but he would have just rather than been knife hands. Like, are you freaking crazy?
Right.
It wasn't even the performance. It wasn't even the form. So, but this one, all fighters have had this exact same thing before, right? When the thing's over, and he judged you based off of his own guilt. Yeah, maybe, Jonathan, right? But this one happened where it was like last point. I know who I was fighting to. I was fighting Nathan Thorne, right? And it was for another local grand championship. He and I, it was next point wins. Whoever wins this, we're winning the grand championship. And it goes to Nathan, and I'm like, what the F? Right?
Yeah.
I got that, right? And then the center referee, I'm sitting here like, you got to be freaking kidding me. And he comes up to me and he goes, man, what a way to go out. And I'm like, I like to be respectful. In my mind, I'm like, don't freaking talk to me right now.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like, yeah, it goes like that sometimes, right? And he goes, yeah, you totally got him first and you hit him first. And now I'm like seeing red, right? And he goes, you totally got him first. But I mean, he just had a cleaner shot after you hit him.
Oh, okay.
And I want to go, repeat that again. So you acknowledge I hit him and I hit him first.
Yeah.
And it was a good shot. After that, which by the way, that's the score, should be over at this point. Right. He hits me late. I don't know if he actually hit me late, right? But you just liked what he did after the fact, which the match should have been over at that point. Like, you're freaking crazy. Oh my God. But all fighters have had a situation like that. And they've actually probably had that said. You probably had that said to you, haven't you, Jeff?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly. I'm trying to think of, no, I feel like I've had that recently where it was something that I'm just like, excuse me? What? Like, yeah, it was. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It was the whole, like, I should have given you that one. Or, oh, I thought you had a better form, but I liked, but I feel like I need to give it to this guy, and I've had this happen in local tournaments, well, like not local, but like regional, where I won a grand in traditional, and then I went and did contemporary, and they said,
I like your traditional better.
Man, I really like your traditional better. There's that. Or, well, you got to give it. I need to spread the love out, man. I need to spread the love out.
You effing don't.
What? No, this is not cool. This is not cool. Well, yeah, and there were several times where who was? Oh yeah, even last week fighting at the tournament, there was just some clear shots that I'm just like, how are you guys not calling this? But then you'll call it something else, and it made me so mad. Where it's like, I hit you all up in here, and then the next one, the guy falls, and I barely like hit him, and somehow you give me a point. Like, things like that are just weird to me.
Makeup calls. I hate that.
Yeah.
And I hate that because it's like, don't make another bad call to make up for your bad call. Right? Just make, like, we acknowledge that, like, sometimes you're going to have bad calls. Let's just move on. All right?
Right. While we're getting these weird, because this isn't necessarily the same, but I know I got downgraded because of this. So I got downgraded one time because everyone was cheering for me too loud. Okay, so the center judge, while I'm doing my Japanese form, and this is in 2001, I'm in Oregon, and all of our crew, just all of us back then, we cheered for everyone. Like, let's go, Jeff, let's go. I mean, it was just our vibe back then in those days, right? And the judge stands up in the middle of my form and tells all of them to be quiet and to move back and everything while I'm doing my form. And I'm like, do I keep going or what? Then he sits down and he like, and I continue. And then
did you stop?
I didn't stop. I was still I stayed in my horse stance the whole time. And then I get like one of the worst scores ever. I'm sitting there like, bro, like this had nothing to do with me. Why?
That's freaking crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. There's some weird things like that in the old NBL days, especially when you travel places that you weren't really used to, right? You go in a whole nother area.
I have heard of you would know her. I'm forgetting her name. Who was Ed Alore's daughter? What was her name?
Vanessa.
Vanessa.
Yeah.
So Vanessa Alore. This is the funniest.
Oh, right. I remember this one. Yeah.
This
Go ahead.
messed up. I'm not gonna say who it was, but this person was a competitor and was a fighter. I don't know what this person was doing judging women's like soft style or Chinese forms. I don't know how that became a thing, right? But they were a competitor in like my division too. And I remember thinking, like, what are you doing judging that division, right? You don't even do forms, right? And she won. She should have won. And then afterwards, he says to her, like, man, I gave it to you because you were so much hotter than everybody else in the division.
Oh my God.
And I was like a fly on the wall. I was not like in the circle of the conversation. I was like back behind, and I was actually just going to go talk. I was going to ask him, like, dude, are you fighting today? And I was like a few like people back. So nobody really knew I was nearby.
Yeah.
And I actually had to buy some commas because Adalore made like the coolest commas at that time. So I was going to talk to Vanessa. So I was like, oh, this is like a reason why I should go up here. And I'm not there yet. And I hear that conversation happen and I stop in my tracks like, what the F did he just say? You know what I mean? I couldn't believe that.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
and then like I had to wait and I'm like, this is like, mom just smacked dad in the face at the dinner table, we gotta just sit here and pretend like nothing just happened and just eat our mashed potatoes, like what in the world? So
yeah, one time at Super Grands in 2002 in Panama City, I did Chum Mu right at that time, and I nail it. I do a great form, and the center goes to me, and he says, "Hey, your form was first place, but you didn't do it. You didn't do it the way we teach it in the Junri system. So, so that's why I'm like, well, it's not a Junri. I didn't do a Junri form. I learned it from the Kim School of Taekwondo. That's the way we do it, and that was the way that I was taught it. And it was like, oh, well, that's why. And so like, I'm sitting there like, is this an arbitration? Is this something that I could arbitrate over? Like,
but what the end result's going to be is going to be, we can't go back and redo a division.
Right. And that was something that, Jack Felton's dad at the time was the arbitrator, and he was there and he heard that and he was like, yo, this isn't right, Jeff. This, that's not right. So it was a kind of a crazy thing. So, and then I had to go to two of the other judges and be like, hey, did you give me that score because of that same thing too? And it was two of them that had said that, right? And again, it was only two judges out of the five, but still, that bugged me so much, man. So
crazy, right?
Yeah. And David's saying, I know who that would have been. Yeah. So yeah, guys, I want to hear some more weirdest critiques. This is a fun one. I know right now, not all of them kind of came off the top of my head like I wanted to, but I'm sure that tonight while I'm sleeping, all of a sudden one of those weird ones will come up.
Well, I have one, and we had him on the podcast a couple weeks ago from Mike McCoy, all right, with me, and and it wasn't totally his fault because he was told not to call this, but it's like, you in your right mind, you know what you should do, right? It was a super fight division, and I hit someone with a back fist, and I hit him really freaking hard that they have to stop the match for a moment.
Yeah.
And I'm like, point? Like, get the point? And he goes, you can't get the point. There's a back fist. And I'm like, time the frick out. In fact, we're already time out. What the hell? What did you just say? Like, you can't give me the point because you would have preferred I did a different technique. It's the perfectly legal technique.
Yeah.
But you were told that like back fists aren't very strong. I used a back fist so strong that it hurt him to where we have to stop the match. You just don't like it?
That's crazy.
Right? Not totally his fault because he was instructed not to call that.
Right.
But we should never be in that position.
No.
Make it crazy. You know?
Never ever. Oh man.
It's fun though. It's fun doing this.
It is fun doing this, and I just thought of like some other like weird.
It's fun now. Now when it's funny, not like in the moment you're like enraged.
No. All right. Do you want to start with fighter or forms?
Think here.
Oh, that's a good one, Brett. Yeah, that's happened to me in like DC tournaments where I went against someone and I did like a Taekwondo form, and I'm going against Taekwondo people who are doing like Gopai Sho and these forms, these Japanese forms or Okinawan forms, and they're key on every single second, or they're doing crazy versions of choreo where they're butt sagging to the ground. They're key on every single move. And you need to be a little bit more intense. I'm like, sorry, there's not all those keyas in there. Okay. Like, no. And yeah. So that's Brett. That one definitely has happened to me as well. All right.
Yeah, I want to bring up some competitors, and the reason I pause is because I want to bring up some competitors that we've never mentioned on the show. Now, 6.5 years doing this show, we've mentioned a lot of freaking people.
Yes, Alex, can I say one more? Dang it, I'm sorry. One more compliment that I got.
Say 12 more. Go ahead.
Man, that form was so great, and I should have given you the 10, and I was looking for you to mess up, and you didn't mess up. But I still just didn't give you the 10. And looking back, I should have because you guys tied. But I like I'm sitting there like, just give me the freaking 10 then. If you want to give me the 10, just give me the darn 10. Like that drove me nuts. Man, that was the best form. That was perfect. That was flawless. Then give me the 10. Like just give it to me. If that's what you want to tell me, give it to me.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to bring up a fighter that was pretty good. Not like big time champion. A lot of people probably would have no idea who I'm talking about. This woman fighter, her name was Nicole McManus. All right.
Yes.
She was a pretty good competitor, right?
Yes, pretty good competitor.
You wouldn't put her in the top 30, for competitors, right? So, but she was pretty good. She made some finals appearances. I don't know if she ever won like a NASCAR overall championship. Something makes me think that maybe she won compete or something like that. I'm sorry, compete. All right. I caught myself though.
Compete.
All right.
What in the world?
I don't know who started that, but whatever. But she was a really solid competitor. I think the only thing that really lacked in her fighting game was just explosiveness, right? But she was just a really skilled competitor, could do all of this stuff. And I think her coach was Jesse Goldberg, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
All right. And Jesse's a smart fighter, right? He's a smart guy. And from the area that he's in, he did a lot of work with Steve Babcock, right? Steve Babcock, also super, super smart, right?
Yes.
Fighter, coach, karate instructor. Without Steve Babcock, that whole Paul Mitchell thing doesn't look the same way, right? Yeah. But yeah, Nicole McManus, I think she was just a really good, solid competitor that people should remember and talk about. Like, I thought that she had great kicking ability, right? She was not heavy, but she was on the higher weight class, right? I don't know. She was probably like, I don't know, I'd say like 155 pounds or so, 160 pounds, right? And she was decently tall. I think she was probably like 5'9", right? And yeah, she could do all the techniques. She's very good. I didn't really see any holes in her game except for just like all out like aggressiveness and assertiveness. I don't think I ever saw her get really like overwhelmed and be like, I'm taking this thing, right? And maybe that's why she didn't win all the time. But I thought she had all the skills and abilities.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely one. Definitely. Trey says RIP Frankie Fernandez. Yeah, man. Someone from the South that was a great junior fighter, great overall fighter from that Spartanburg group years ago. So again, guys, look up these fighters. Get on YouTube. Find, ask some of your friends, hey, do you have any footage from this guy or this gal, right? For me, I'm going to do based off of what I told you today, the fight that I saw online today. And you know what? Big shout out to Wally for putting out a lot of these videos without the weird music that he was putting over top of it to play out the music. Now it's like 2 or 3 weeks ago, put out a video of me doing my form for 1995 with the actual music that I did. Cool. So that was cool, right? And it got a lot of publicity and play, and everyone was talking about it. But
somebody tag Wally and tell him that we want him on the show too. We gotta do that.
I've asked him so many times, man, but
let's get him on. He's got to answer why not in real time.
So anyways, my fighter from the past is one of the greatest of all time. And you know what? Watching this fight, it's so funny because I was there and I watched it and I knew how it went and who won. But I still had this sense of disbelief that it happened. So I'm watching this fight, and it's 1998 Bluegrass Nationals, and it's 4-4 wash final, and it's Pedro Xavier versus Terry Kramer. I'm like, oh yeah, this is the one. This is the year that Terry won it. And I'm sitting there, I'm watching, and then I'm like, the matches.
You know how it ends, but yet you're still on the edge of your seat.
Yes, and so I'm watching this, and it's like, okay, 1-1, and then all of a sudden it's 2-1, and then it's 3-1, it's 4-1, and Pedro is up 4-1 with maybe 20 seconds left. And I'm sitting there like, wait, isn't this the year Terry won? Like, how's he going to come back with this when I know he's not going to kick? I know he's not doing any of this. Pedro has the best leg of all time. Pedro is killing it with the ridge hand right now. And they're not calling certain things. And I'm sitting there like, what the heck? And then next thing I know, Terry hits one of the best back fists I've ever seen. Then he hits with another one. And then he's tied up with like the very last second. It goes into overtime, and then guess what he does? What does he do to win?
Ridge hand?
No, he did a body punch, a reverse punch to finish it. And so, man, it was just like one of the craziest things, right? And I just remember everyone being, I think it's Larry Tankston gets up on stage and like hugging him, and it was wild, man, just how that ended. And you know what? I mean, you gotta love just Bluegrass for that, because the senior fighters just showed up and showed out every single time at that event. It was wild, man. It was just wild how that event was. But so for me, shout out to Terry freaking Kramer, one of the legends of the game, but I feel like he still doesn't get talked about enough. You know, I remember when I put him on my list, some people were telling me that I should have kept him off and put other people on, right? And I'm sitting there like, so you're going to tell me I'm getting rid of Terry Kramer for, like, what are we talking about, Right. So obviously one of the best back fists of all time, but also one of the best of knowledge of the game, right? Of not getting, he would stick with his game plan, right? He would stick with what he's doing. You weren't going to get him out of it. I never felt like he was someone that all of a sudden like was getting too antsy or like, again, he hit all three of those punches. not like he was rushing or trying to get the point. It was just, all right, boom, I got it. Oh, I see it. I got it. And he started timing Pedro's leg, and he started timing Pedro's ridge hands. And it was like, you know what? It's just beautiful to see.
My favorite.
And not someone who had to do a bunch of movement and footwork and stuff. You know what I mean?
Because he could do, and he did do all of that.
Right.
And because like you and I were chatting about this earlier, like in like the late 80s, like he did all of that, right?
Yeah.
I actually feel like he became a better fighter in the mid to late 90s, right?
Yeah.
That's when he like really hit his peak, right? My favorite Terry Kramer moment wasn't even him competing, right? It was Terry was the center ref of, I believe it was Donald Brady and Gerald Dawson. The winner of this match is going to go on to fight Trevor Nash for the diamond ring, right?
Yeah.
And Donald Brady, he's a shifty guy. He's trying just like that. He's like, I'm going to time it. I'm going to get there perfect. I'm going to have the right angle. It's like the explosiveness of the fighters at that time and of that era, right? Everything was about quick decision and explosiveness. So if fighters today would just look at that, they would look at that and go, these are just lazy fighters, right? And in some ways, yeah, they did have lots of moments where there was just tons of downtime. But their explosiveness with power was incredible. Terry steps in to go like this, and he turns his chest towards Donald. And Donald is going to try to time right when Terry goes, fight, and then steps back. And Donald was going to do an offensive turning sidekick to hit Dawson. And Terry goes like this and doesn't say go. And Donald just turned, bam, and kicks Terry right in the chest. And Terry doesn't move an inch. That was right, because it was a runoff, right? So like all of us, we're all like on chairs watching it. It was like the coolest freaking thing, right? And Terry just put his hands on his hips and just stares at Donald. And it was like an OG moment, like, go!
That's awesome. That's awesome. Oh, well, speaking of that, shout out to the ref in Full Contact at Wako, the lady who got hooked, dropped, and then she gets up and is like, okay, your penalty this side, and kept going like a G. Just
what?
She was trying to separate the two girls, and then the other girl just went to a hook punch and caught her and dropped her. Yeah. That was wild. Oh, man. So, all right. So those are our fighters. Forms competitor. So for me, this one is someone who I've shared about some of my greatest battles were against this person. But I think they don't get talked about enough.
Let's hear it.
I got to talk to several people that have trained with them, or were students of him, because, they're from Utah and Colorado, California, everywhere that he's lived. But we're going to talk about Josh Durbin, man. And Josh Durbin is someone that originally, like when he was a junior, he was that junior competitor that did 14 events at every NBL tournament. He wore the sequence uniform. He was that really high-level underbelt competitor that everyone was looking forward to competing when he was a junior. Then he won a bunch of titles as a junior. Then he kept getting better and better. But I'm be honest, when he first started, a lot of us thought, oh, maybe he's a little sloppy, or he's missing this, or he's missing that.
Maybe. And
then it just kind of clicked, dude. And when he was in that 17-year-old to 18-year-old phase, and he started winning NBL, winning NASCA, winning everything, and became, honestly, one of the cleanest hands I've seen, one of the cleanest competitors and strongest competitors I see. And you're sitting there and you're seeing this kid who's like 115, 114 pounds. Like, how does he hit that strong with those hands? And it was clean lines, clean everything. His athleticism was amazing. We've all seen the video of him trying the double backflip on the stage at Bluegrass Nationals, right? We've seen some of the things he does with the bow, and he didn't have to do all the releases and things with the bow because his strike and his speed and his athleticism, while also tricking with it, was so difficult, but he could do those things. And like seeing him like do a neck roll, body roll into like some type of laid out like side swipe thing while he has the bow like this on his arms, like that's crazy, right? Like there's just so many things that he invented,
especially at that time.
in that mid 2000s to 2010s, and just the intensity he had. His forms were super fast. They didn't have to be super long, but he got so high on his round off flash. His combos were always great. Just again, he didn't have to make this. Like I'm indifferent. I'm a little back and forth on like hands right now in forms. Like I think some people try to do too much craziness, and it's like, you know what? Like if you have a solid chop, grab, chop, punch, high ball punch, rear hand chop, like things that are clean lines. To me, in some ways, that's better than doing all this angled and everything else, right? And some of it just becomes where it's not really even karate. It's almost like dance, like it's like tutting or something. You know what I mean? It's like this stuff, And so I understand. I'm in, because I'm someone who wants to be creative and have that creativity, but at the same time, like hand strikes, man, like you don't have to reinvent the wheel every time. You know what I mean? And so I just feel like he was someone that kept it super strong, super clean, and super creative. So he was just one of the best people to compete against. Just one of the best one to compete against as far as like just his attitude, man. He was just always fun. He was competitive, but he also like he knew when he would be like, because one time, a lot of people were mad that I beat him at a Super Grands, but he was like, dude, it was musical forms. Jeff was way more to the beat than I was. Jeff had just as high a difficulty as I, like he's that person that could admit
He can take it
and take it. And so like I just love, when him and I and Jericho and Gandhi all compete against each other, dude, like it was just a great time. So
there's two names that I want to bring up. One, most people are gonna like, oh yeah, I think I kind of remember him. And again, all the years of doing the show, I want to try to bring up some people that were really freaking good that we just haven't mentioned. Craig Henningsen. All right.
My mom, I think, is very confused. I'm talking about Josh Durbin, not Jeff Durbin, Mom.
Jeff Durbin is considerably older.
Well, and he is the one who's a pastor. I don't think Josh is, unless that just happened. I haven't checked that out. But Jeff is definitely very high. He's all over the internet. Jeff Durbin, you can check him out.
But Craig Henningsen is a competitor who really could do everything. I think Craig Henningsen might be like one of the bigger what ifs, right? So if Craig Henningsen had stayed competing, right? Because once he was like, hey, let me try this, acting stunts type of thing, the stunts, he's an AKA guy. So of course he was going to, try that type of thing, that's the culture. I think we might have looked at him as like, would he have been Tyler Weaver? Could he have been Tyler Weaver?
Yeah, I think so. Definitely.
I think so. Right? I think that would be a good comparison. Could he have been Tyler Weaver? Because Tyler Weaver was kind of like one of the better ones, right? For a short period of time, right?
Right.
But Craig Henningsen, I think, was so freaking good. And we're like, man, this guy's going to be awesome. He's going to be really good. We saw him as a junior. And then like, all right, he's going to be awesome. And then like, he just was gone. Right.
Well, and it was weird. So again, I saw him as he first started on the NBL circuit. And it was like, okay, he couldn't win the championship for a little bit. And it was just like, dude, this guy's so good. And then all of a sudden, then it just started clicking. He just started winning and winning and winning. And, and then it was like, all right, he won a lot overseas with the WKA and stuff, and then all of a sudden it kind of clicked where for like 2 years on NASCAR he was the guy, and it was
Yeah.
like, whoa, all right, this is wild. You would have just loved to see him compete in adults,
Yes.
Yeah,
He
and
had
like similar like Micah Carnes, yeah, I would say.
I think that's a pretty good comparison, DDB. That's a great comparison.
I mean, same
Because there was
system.
a time where we're like, Micah Carnes did like 1 year as an adult, right? And we're like, whoa, all right. Changing of the guard. And Micah was like, I'm out. All right. But there was one form that Craig had, and it was probably like 2002, where this guy did like everything. Like whatever the big trick was at that time, he did all of them in one performance. Like he would do like what, like you mentioned flash, like he did like a flash switch, right? Which would be like, oh dang, you did that. But then he also did that with everything else. He did like a butterfly twist, round kick into a flash kick. He would do like a 900 with a kick, right? Which those sound like easy kicks to do, but like this is over 20 years ago. This is almost 25 years ago, right?
Yeah.
So
2000
doing
something like that.
Yeah. So you're like
2003.
That might have been what it was. It might have been like 2003. But I remember looking at that like, oh my gosh, this kid did all of those things in one form. This is amazing. And he wasn't out of juice, nothing. Like, wait till this kid puts it all together at the adults. And then he just didn't.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting on the way that works, right? I mean, and it's one of those things where it's like you have to look at these competitors in different categories. You look at the ones that did it for a super long time. You're like, dude, that is freaking hard, right? I mean, that's why I think people, again, we talked before about respect that I get, and then the competitors like Andrew get, and then or competitors that continued, on like a Kevin Kawash, like Tim Conkle, that for a long period of time have been able to do this. And then you have those ones that were just so freaking good for like 2 to 3 years, and it was just like, all right, I'm good, I'm out. Like imagine some of these competitors that they came back now in their 30s. Like if Rudy came back, Reed may be coming back. Like
remember the look of disgust Rudy gave me
Pirata,
when I asked him? Remember when he was on the show? That was a great show, by the way. Guys, go back, look through the archives. The show with Rudy Renyan, that one was great. Remember when I asked him, I go, hey, man, you ever think that like you might compete again? And he gave this look of disgust like, no, I'm doing that again.
Yeah.
Talking to me like I'm an idiot. That's what this show's all about.
I know, right? Well,
show's all about competition. And like, I'm the idiot for asking if you might ever do it again.
Hey, I think his tone has probably changed a little bit now because he's doing he's doing seminars, he's coaching, he's really more involved now than he was when we interviewed him. He was really into his music and just got off of the tour from all the dancing and the performing and stuff. So
yeah,
but
he's still most people's favorite competitor.
A lot of people's favorite competitor. Yeah. Same thing with Matt Imming, like those guys.
Oh yeah.
So, yep.
Great hanging, man.
It's been a good time. We got lots going on. We got Toronto this weekend. I'm excited for. Lots of people I'm excited to see that I hadn't seen in a while. And then also, we're going to be working on getting a end of the year show with all the main gang guys. So we may do that just on here on our platform. And we may do a special episode. Not sure yet. That's going to be happening.
Wait, we got to figure this out, Jeff.
What?
When are we doing? When are we doing gifts?
Yeah, I'm going to send yours sometime this week. So
already?
I know it's crazy.
Yeah, I just top of it, man.
I know. I still have to get one more thing, but yeah.
I was just gonna say, I got one. I need two. All right. Let's probably do it the 22nd.
Yeah.
All right, cool. We'll do that. It's gonna be a great
what else we got going on?
We got guests coming.
We got guests coming. We got a couple different guests. We're going to be coming on to finish the year out. And then, no, there was something else that we were talking about us doing.
End
No. All
of
right. Let's share this.
Okay.
It's not official yet. Okay. But it's pretty much is, because I think I'm out. Okay.
Are you going to talk about how I'm like the worst in our fantasy football league?
I'm going to talk about how I'm not going to be winning the championship this year for the first time in the league's history. Okay. 4 years in a row, it pretty much looks like I'm out, because I believe, yes, I won, but Jackson won too. So even if I win next week and he wins, or even if he doesn't win and he loses, we'll be tied, and he's beaten me
What's
twice.
crazy is I'm actually stringing together some wins after it doesn't freaking matter.
Yeah, I just had the worst. It's just been one of those seasons, man, in fantasy football, and I mean, I was above everybody in the first 4 games, like so much higher on points scored, everything, and then all of a sudden it just kind of didn't happen, man. I got some bad injuries, got some bad luck.
Who's leading right now? Right now, Troy
is.
is.
I don't
leading.
understand how Troy is
Let's
leading.
look at his squad too,
But
because
to
he
me,
doesn't.
the best team right now is Joe Hartley's team and Michael Bates' team. Those 2 teams are really good. But
You mean the
Bates,
rosters?
the
Troy has the best record.
Yeah, but I don't know what's going on with Bates' team this week or last week. But Joe's team, that's the guy I think is going to win it all this year. It's Joe Hartley. So, and him and I had a battle in fantasy basketball last week. Oh man, it was fun. That was my first regular season loss ever in fantasy basketball.
So annoyed with you in fantasy basketball because
I didn't want to do it.
You don't even like basketball.
I do like basketball. I just don't watch basketball.
You're one of those that like, oh, I don't like the NBA. Which I think it's stupid. All right.
No, I just don't have time to watch basketball. I just don't watch it.
You ever hear those people who are like, oh, I love basketball. I only like college though. I don't like the NBA.
Yeah.
I don't like the NBA because they're just in it for money. That's like saying like,
all more now. So
yeah, that'd be like saying, like, oh yeah, I like watching the NFL because those guys, they just make money. So I just watch my local high school team, the Larkin Royals. That's who I want to watch. Get the frick out of here. You just want to sit there and watch teenagers play? You idiot.
Oh man. All right, Alex. Thanks, man. It was a great show. Thank you everyone for watching and joining and staying in here with us.
This has been another episode of Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. I'm Alex Dingman.
I'm Jeff Doss. See you guys next week.